Hi. Hi. It's been 1 full minute of complete silence because I don't know why my show didn't play. But here we are. Ta-da! Ta-da! Great, beautiful, blessed afternoon. It is Monday, the 8th of June, not the 9th, like social media said for a moment, but I fixed it. Everything's fine. We're doing amazing. How are y'all doing? Please let me know that you can see me because my intro did not indeed play. Do I know why? No, absolutely not. That's okay. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the podcast. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Hello, you should be seeing me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube's, and tickety tackety. Hi. This will all be uploaded to podcasting apps afterwards. And y'all, I am not editing it. So all of this disaster that just happened in the beginning, my intro video just didn't play for no reason because it felt like it. That's all going to be on there. So be excited. Anyhow, any hoodle toast strudel. If you do not know me, my name is Tenille, like 10 eels, Tenille. And I guide people through reclaiming their identity and designing a full life, even after diagnosis. Hey. Is that you, Oprah? Don't flatter me, whoever you are. Abel, don't you flatter me. You get a car. I'm gonna do that one day too. Hi guys. Okay, so let's get into it. So today it is June, the second week of June, and I had like a very important guest last week, so I could not do this, which it was kind of my intention to start the month off talking about a very important person to me. Hi, Willow. And his name is Alex the Destroyer Stewart. I'm wearing one of his work shirts. Not a cool boxing shirt. Like my mother was like, why aren't you wearing a boxing shirt? I digress. So today we are going to talk about Alex Stewart Month. Great afternoon from Strong Island. Hello, live from Oklahoma. Hello, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I love y'all. Iconic afternoon. So I have a few things to talk about. So this month is my father's month. It's Alex Stewart Month. And I was reminded of that by getting a really sweet message from one of his fans. Thank you so much, Abel. I appreciate that. So in the message, it was just an appreciation message, just like my dad's fight was his first ever professional boxing match he ever was at, and he was a kid, and it, like, you know, formed his fanship of boxing, and he loves my dad and the sport. And like his father passed shortly after my father passed, and he just looked me up on the internet and he said he just needed to tell me. And I've gotten messages like that since daddy passed pretty, regularly. And it's just so interesting to know that what you are doing right now and who you are right now can resonate with someone you may never meet, or like that my lineage, like my father's existing on this planet and doing the things he did and being the person he was really impacted other people. And I will continue to see that for the rest of my life. It's very, 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 very cool. It is legacy, as they say, right? So sometimes people leave fingerprints or punch marks on people's lives that they never knew they touched. And that's what I'm hoping to do here with this podcast, with these courses, with the master classes. Like all of this, I want you to be able to like take notes and take, inspiration, motivation, and take that with you throughout the rest of your life. This is not just for right now. But this month is a lot of things. It's brain health awareness, Father's Day, Men's Mental Health Month, And because my dad, his birthday is June 28th, um, he he always used to say, like, why is it not, you just need to rename it Alex Stewart Month. Like, this is my month. It's my birthday. I was born and I'm the best dad. He was the best dad. And they should name this my month. So in our house, it was Alex Stewart Month. It would be like the 1st of June. He'd be like, wake up. It's Alex Stewart Month. Everybody, it's Alex Stewart Month. So we're going to celebrate accordingly. And we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, June and all the things that it has to do with him. He also, my father, passed from a blood clot, but when he died, Boston College studied his brain, and he had CTE. Dang, I usually have the definition to pull up. I do not have the definition to pull up. It's the it's a brain thing. It's a brain thing. A lot of football players get it. It's from repeated head trauma. My dad used to say, I get punched in the head for a living, so you can live here, so you can do this, so we can have this. And those sports, as amazing as they are and as well paid as they are, they're very, very dangerous. And I want everyone to be super hyper aware that, like, those sports are very barbaric. And as much as I love so many boxers, that are personal friends to my family, and the sport gave me the life that we live. It is very scary. It is very barbaric. Like football players, even baseball players, you get hit with a ball at the right angle, at the right time, in the right spot. That could be the end of your career and or life. So think very strategically about a career in any of those sports. My mother used to always say, thank God he retired before anything could happen. But you are a fighter just like him. He would be so proud of you. RIP to Sponge A. Okay, I'm going to pin this comment because my dad was very committed to his high top fade his whole life. Like, after high top fades were not in, Daddy had a high top fade. And when SpongeBob came out, this was my friend here who commented on YouTube. We used to sing him Sponge Alex Square Head, because why is your head square, sir? My dad had a great sense of humor. And okay, on with the lesson. Hey, from New Mexico, what up, Deanna? All right, hilarious. Yes, so brain health also hits home because my grandmother has Alzheimer's dementia, and she's also one of the strongest people I've ever met. And she right now is in a position where she's essentially a very tall baby, a very tall toddler. And my father and her had a great relationship, like not in-laws, not anything like that. We were family. And I never saw any of that, the in-law behavior that people talk about and like fear. The way that my loved ones, I'm an only child. I have a trillion and a half cousins, but I'm an only child, and my family, my like nuclear family, very, very, very close to me family we're very, very close. We very much like, I've been, if you look back in my social media before I ever like did social media for a living, I post things that would let you know that I've been obsessed with these people my whole life. This is not new. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Like, I've been hanging on my dad's arm and talking about my grandparents my whole life. And to watch them change like this, and to watch, like, for no better words I can think of, watch the decline of people who I have always thought were like the best and the greatest and the smartest people, is really heartbreaking. And it's remembering that as much as it's the month of Father's Day, as much as it's the month of, celebrating family, people don't all have their family. It's been almost a decade. It's been almost a decade without my dad. And some days it hits me like a truck that like, oh my gosh, he's not here in the physical. Like I will never get another hug, and I will never, you know, have a deep conversation or, you know, that kind of stuff ever again. But then I get the reminders. I get these little reminders from people I've never met from the internet who find me like, oh, I loved your dad. I met him at this time, sending me pictures, sending me notes. I actually have a I have a note that I will read to you guys, but I'm gonna post a few pictures. Like I have, and that's another thing that I always think of too. That wow, I'm never gonna have another photo of this person. Take photos, guys. Look, Bren, the warrior mom, the icon that she is, she looked up the. Oh, that's not the one. She looked up the definition for me. So, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. I took reading. I went to college. I know words. Encephalopathy. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. That's what he had. A lot of football players are getting it in the past few years. It is a brain deterioration of the brain, and my dad had like stage 3 or 4 when he passed, and they didn't know that until after they were studying his brain, because with yes, the ambush grief is the worst. Because normally at that stage you wouldn't be able to talk, you wouldn't be able to speak or walk properly, and it brings out a lot of anger. And my dad, if you knew him, he was a 6'3", 200-something pound, gentle giant. He looked mean, and he had a like soft voice like mine, and he was hilarious. We were competing smiles because his was gargantuan and mine was big also, as you can see. He would help anyone. He would, as much as he would punch someone in the face for a living, he would turn around and give you the biggest hug. And if you hadn't hugged him for a while, he would be like, what's going on? Why haven't we hugged? What's going on? And, you know, he was just big enough to swallow you whole, just completely engulf you. And like, those are all the things that I will take away from his life. But other people will take away that he's been written about in multiple books about how hard he punched, about how hard he trained. That man would train so that his shirts would be completely see-through by the end, sweat soaked. So much so that we didn't put them directly in the washer. We had to put them outside on a drying rack before we could put them in the washer. So it doesn't surprise me that he had he didn't have the signs of CTE the way that they would expect him to. His brain was not average by any means. And saying that, he had dyslexia. He had a really hard time reading. He could play chess with the best of them. Let me tell you, my dad was not your average athlete, as far as I know. Very smart man, even though he put himself in a position to be punched in the head for a living. No, my pictures are not showing. Can you see that? Anyone? Oh, wait. You can see it. Can you see it? I'm pressing the button. I don't see it on my screen. Somebody let me know in the comments. Can you see this picture that I put up? That's weird. Yeah, somebody let me know. Comment. Let me know if you can see the picture that I put on the screen. Because it looked like it was up, but then it looked like it was gone. So, I don't know. Ooh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I like that you like the hot mess that this is. Hold on. Maybe I'm going to look. There we go. Now I see her. I'm going to say her. I mean my dad. There he is. That's one of his boxing pictures of him just training, just like jumping, skipping rope, as he said, um, and making it a black and white picture. Looks like that was, way earlier in the world than it was. It was in the 90s, sometimes at Kutcher's Country Club. Kutcher's Country Club also has a documentary on YouTube, Netflix, if you want to see. I grew up there. That was one of the jobs I had when I moved to New York also. But um, yeah, just not an average guy. And I'm going to, oh my gosh, I want to explain that I'm not like talking about this to boast or brag or be like, well, look at us, look at me. I want to make sure people really feel that whatever your family is doing, however special your people are, there's going to be a public perception of them, and there's going to be your private relationship with them. Like, two people right now, on the internet, who knows what they think of me? They tell me nice things on a regular basis. I'm like, this is great. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. But I also know the way my family looks at me is different. I'm just Tenille. Ain't nobody excited about anything that I'm doing except for y'all. Right? My great grandmother will be 100 in December, and if I step out of line, she will tell me about myself in a second. So, yeah, there's not. Oh, wow, I wasn't looking at the comments at all. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna catch up on these comments real quick. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to post those pictures so y'all can see them, because I don't know why you can't see them. But thanks for letting me know, guys. Now I'm gonna read the message I got the other day. So, like I said, I get these messages from time to time, just kind of like sprinkled through my life consistently, though. And I'm gonna put it on the screen, but I'll read it from my phone since we don't know why, but they're not showing up. Okay. Pretty long message, but I'm gonna read it. Can you see that? Tell me if you see it. Let me see the comments. It doesn't matter if you can see it, because I'm gonna tell you. All right. Hello, you wouldn't know me, but if you are who I think you are, please read my story. If not, I'm terribly sorry for wasting your time. I was born in 1983 in New York. One of my dad's favorite things to do was to go to Madison Square Garden with his drinking buddies. One day in the summer of 1988, he took me along. We loved boxing, and I still do. The very first live boxing match I ever saw was Alex the Destroyer Stewart versus Calvin Sherman. This fight did not take very long, LOL, and Alex wrecked him. As a 5-year-old, I was starstruck. That guy was awesome. And on his way back to his dressing room after his victory, my dad got him to give me an autograph, which I still have to this day. My hero. As I grew up, and after his career was long over, I began to look at the caliber of fighter he was, and he would go on to be. He would fight Tyson, Holyfield, Foreman. Oh man. And they say, even though George won that fight, he never was physically recovered after that beating Alex put on him. And I was just thinking, wow, I met this guy and he's fought the greatest fighters in the world. So I got nostalgic recently and looked him up and checked out his record and his story. It said his daughter was AJ Tenille Stewart, and a quick Google search brought me to you. If I'm overstepping, I apologize. I just wanted to let you know that if you are the right person, your dad was my hero. And literally the first live boxing match I ever saw. I was very sorry to hear of his passing in 2016. My own father passed shortly after. But when we heard about it, we reminisced about that night from nearly 30 years before. Woo! Yeah. Oh, I didn't put the second part up. But yeah, that caught me exactly at the right time. And I had missed this day of, the first of the month to put up Alex Stewart Month. But when I read that, I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna do a episode about legacy. Um, to me, my dad was also my hero. My dad was, um, someone I always wanted to make really proud. And I didn't care so much about boxing stuff or, whatever he had going on professionally. I liked the cool stuff, like that I got to, meet fun people and, you know, all that, whatever. But uh, to me, he was the jokes. He was you know, the stories that didn't make sense about when he was a kid. He went to high school in Jamaica and talking about, and then I would walk to school uphill both ways. Sir, it never snowed. It does not snow in Jamaica. But his legacy was something to this man that was all about boxing, and that was enough. That still was enough to make him his hero. And you might right now not think what you're doing matters, or you're thinking professionally, or friendship wise, or as a daughter, as a son, as anybody, that it doesn't matter that much. And I'm here to tell you it matters so much, because you could walk around here minding your business and being somebody's hero, like my dad was to people. Also, he was financially like a ninja, because he had been so tussled around by the industry, and he was so young when he started. When I was born, he was 20, 21, and married to my mom, and they went from broke to money to broke to money, like over and over, and he did not want that for me. So financially, like, people don't know, but like, he knew so much, he studied so much about money and how to make it last, and investing and all that stuff. And like, to somebody, they're looking at my dad and thinking like, oh, he's like a dumb jock, and like, he just does this thing. But like, he was so much more, and he will always be so much more. And they say you die twice. They say you you pass away physically in your body, and then the last time somebody says your name, you pass for the final time. And as long as I'm alive, as long as me and mine are alive, Daddy's still alive to us. We will, if you ever catch us talking about my dad outside of this house, people constantly think he is alive, because we are talking about funny stories and things he did. Or like, when people talk about being kids, my dad was a giant kid. He loved video games. He was get a video game console, put it in my room, be like, oh, it's for the baby, and he'd be in there just playing video games forever and ever. Oh man, I'd be like, Dad, I'm tired, go to sleep, go away, and he'd just be playing his video games. But like, for the money thing, this is so silly, and I will never forget. Like, in a mall, malls used to be all over the place. They used to be popular. I used to be little and in a mall with my dad, and they have like the fountains, the wish fountains. You put some money in it, like a coin, and you're supposed to get the wish. I'd be like, Daddy, please let me get some money to make a wish. And my dad would be like, close your eyes. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking he's gonna give me the money, so I put my hand out, close my eyes. And like, okay, what do you see? And like, nothing. Okay, that's exactly what you're gonna get if you put money in the fountain. You don't need to put money in a fountain. But he would inevitably give me the money anyways, and I would get my wish. But stuff like that, like little things that people don't know or talk about or whatever. I have a million interviews of him, talking boxing stuff. And, to him, boxing was a sport. He was never mean. He was never aggressive. I've never seen him, be aggressive to my mother or whatever. Like, his hands were lethal weapons, literally registered. So if he were to hit someone, jail. So I'm pretty sure that had something to do with it. But the point is, this is his month, and I will continue talking about him all month. Oh, we're still looking. Okay, cool. This is so beautiful. Okay, thank you guys. Um, yeah, he was silly. These comments are great. Thank you for sharing. So for your dad, yeah, precious to hear these stories. I just shared about my dad and his legacy yesterday. I love that. The story is priceless. Love it, guys. Thank you so much for these comments. It's great. It doesn't have to be. I know last week's episode was heavy. I didn't come on here to be heavy or to like sob or anything like that, but it is completely okay to talk about your loved ones that are no longer here. And it's completely okay to, shed a gangster tear or two, This is not an Olympics of people to not feel emotions. And I think the strongest people in the world are the people who can acknowledge and feel their emotions. And I talk about grieving a lot. I usually talk about grieving your diagnosis or the life you thought you were going to have or any of that. Like, it's completely okay. It's completely okay to not be okay all of the time. And to know in your head that you will get back to being okay. To know that like it's okay to fall and have a hard landing and then, dust yourself off and get back up and keep going. That's a thing that my dad taught me. Like, he had a crazy boxing record. I would say like 50 or something wins and like 4 losses in his record, and 4 or 5 losses, and never been that he lost a fight and came home and was like, well, I'm done fighting. Even though he fought Mike Tyson, one of his shortest fights that I was like, don't look that up on the internet. It's terrible. Don't look at that one. Look at all the other ones. Not that one. When you like think about the way that he literally got beat down and then just stood up and came back and did another fight every time until he was at the age that my mother was like, we're not doing this boxing thing anymore. And daddy was like, okay, I got you, because she deserved to have the husband that she signed up for, right? I think it was like 54 wins and 4 losses. I'm gonna look it up and put it on. I'll post a clip and I'll post some fun facts about daddy. But my dad, did all the things that I aspire to do, not like physically and boxing wise, but like mindset and consistency and being persistent and, taking really great care of himself up until the end. Like, I grieve every single day the relationship that I don't get to have with him anymore and him in the physical. But I'm so proud to be his daughter, and I'm so proud to be, an extension of him. And when people are looking for him, they are looking to find me. Like, everything that they see in me that is from him is a blessing, and I do not take it for granted. Like, the times when I feel terrible about myself, or I'm like, oh, like I don't look cute or whatever, like I remind myself, like, this is daddy's smile. This is my mom's face. Like, I have the opportunity to be proud of my family by presenting myself in a way that they would be proud of, that I would be proud of, and like living their legacy. Oh, hi, Auntie. He was like a big teddy bear. He was so gentle and kind. Yes. I am so grateful that that's how people remember him, and I will always talk about him. His episode, didn't have too much to do with chronic illness, even though, he had one. My grandmother has one, and mental health is a chronic condition that we're, always want to talk about. Part of mental health and, battling mental illness is to talk about these things and be okay. Like, we are okay. Like, yeah, I've cried about 37 times during this episode, but they were, tears of, love with nowhere to go besides the internet, apparently. I love you guys. These comments were amazing. So I didn't go through half of my things that I was supposed to talk about in my my show notes. But I want to close it out with questions like I was doing for Lupus Awareness Month. So now that it's Alex Stewart Month, my questions would be, what is something a loved one used to always say? My dad has Alexisms, so many of them. That man was so funny. He called Home Depot Home Depot. He called iPod an iPop. He would always call people old foggies. They're old fogies. Million things that were only his little language. Who shaped your definition of strength? For me, my family. Hello, Alex the Destroyer Stewart, Angela Stewart, Shirley Pamela Williams. What? Okay. What family story will you carry forever? Tell me some family stories. I would like to be heartwarmed. Please, 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 please. Put them so everybody can see them. Put them in the comments so I can go back and read them, especially on YouTube, especially on Facebook, because those comments will stay. Leave me a family story. I would love that. I would love that so much. I hope you got something out of this episode, because I'm looking at my notes and I really didn't say half the stuff I wanted to say. I had some fire one-liners that were going to just blow your socks off, but this is all heart. This is all love. And I love that you stayed. I can't believe how many of you stayed. Y'all are appreciated, and I'm so grateful for this audience and this community. And oh, one last thing before I go away. One last thing, y'all. So tomorrow the link will be live for my next masterclass. Yes. And we're doing it back on a Tuesday because apparently people were upset that it wasn't on Tuesday. I'm very sorry. Oh, I don't know where the flyer is. Okay, I guess I don't have to put up the flyer. It's not there anymore, so that's fine. But watch out for the last class. We're doing the 23rd of this month. It's a Tuesday. It's from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm so grateful, you guys. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for the sweet, wonderful comments. Thanks for crying with me. Thanks for laughing at me. I love you. Have a glorious day. Stay happily healed. Bye.